Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I just got done watching The Flash. This is technically the mid-season 5 finale, because next week is the crossover, and this is also episode 100. A huge milestone for any show, but especially these CW shows that somehow, some way, keep going and going. I was pretty low and down on Arrow last night, but I am, I guess, happy to say that this episode was better than that. Which again might not be saying much, and if I compare it to past 100 episodes of past shows like Supernatural, even Smallville, or Arrow, all of those were better. So I definitely have my issues. We will get into it. At the very beginning, we see Sherlock Wells, who has been a mainstay the last first half of the season, and I like that they find a way to bring this actor back. I do. And I feel like later on he was used better, but as Sherlock, I'm kind of getting tired of it. It's like maybe the first time it was funny, and the second time it was like, oh, heh. But now at this point, it's lost its luster. This joke has been beaten into the ground. The accent, I have not connected to this version of Wells. They need to just maybe bring back the Wells from season 2 and keep him around. I mean, I even didn't mind the Wells from season 3, but it's just every season we get a new Wells, and it's been getting less and less funny, less and less interesting. Iris defends Nora on wanting to go along on the trip, the time travel trip with Barry, because he has to grab all of these particular elements from certain time periods. And it's interesting that Iris was so quick to defend Nora, because as a character, Iris is definitely somebody who has been someone who wants to go the safest route, or wants to protect someone like Barry from doing something that's dangerous or that could kill himself, and she's very much against that. So to see her be so pro Nora, I know she's trying to keep this positive relationship with her, and I do like them getting along more, but it's kind of out of character for her to be okay with Nora going along this mission that is very dangerous, that has a lot of consequences to it. But Barry had to be the one that wasn't for it, and of course that created your typical CW drama. Ultimately, Barry does let her go, though, and you get a quick moment with Ralph. Remember Ralph? I was very down on Ralph last season. I hated him, to be honest. And so, honestly, this season, he has been fine. He hasn't bothered me. He hasn't been too annoying or too goofy. But let's be honest, they haven't done a whole lot with him either. So it seems like the remedy, the cure for the annoyingness that was Ralph, is to just use him less. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. He plays the Back to the Future song from that soundtrack, so that was quite amusing. And you see Barry and Nora go back in time, and what do they do first? They go back to season 3 with Savitar. Yippee! One of the worst villains that this show has done. It's kind of shocking that they would do that first. Just a reminder on how lame of a villain Savitar was. Did not care for that. I like that the time demons showed up, though, because that's continuity, consistency. I am pretty sure one of the last times they went back in time, these creatures weren't there or didn't show up at all. So at least they did this time. And when they go to the second part, the second time, they have to interact with Zoom. And it seemed like they were just going to do the Back to the Future 2 thing of, hey, let's watch events from the past seasons and just watch them happen. We can't interact, we can't do anything, which is fine. You don't want to affect the timeline, sure, but I got nervous that this was just going to be, hey, let's watch our best hits and not have any impact or character interactions. Although I like that Nora got to see Iris do some stuff that she didn't know that Iris got to do. And I also thought it was interesting that Zoom caught them and chased them. And I thought to myself, holy crap, we're going to get maybe a fight between Zoom, Future Barry, and Nora. This is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. I thought Zoom, kind of an underrated villain in some ways, in retrospect. But then the Time Demon grabs him, and then that's it. And I thought, really? That's it? We're not even going to do anything with this ability that we can go back in time and interact with these past villains, and we're not going to take advantage of that. We're not going to have one cool fight or chase scene with it. Very wasted, a big missed opportunity. And does that affect the previous timeline? Because that obviously wasn't supposed to happen with Zoom, him being taken by time. Dude, you could argue that he just put him back in the timeline where he belonged, but isn't that how he got defeated in the finale of season 2? Didn't the Time Demons grab him and pull him apart and turn him into a creature? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong and I have to rewatch it, but it seemed very short and quick and weird. We go to the original Harrison Wells, the Eobard Thawne version of Harrison Wells, and this is where this actor shines. Seeing him play evil Wells is why you go, yeah, this is why we have this guy doing this. This is his best version of Wells. He is evil, he is sinister, he pulls that off so well. And a little convoluted of like, oh yeah, you have to help me fix this device. I just don't buy Wells falling for that and going along with it, but he did. We get a quick reference to Gorilla Grodd in this cage, so that was nice. And then you see the particle accelerator about to explode. I like the moment where Nora saw the yellow costume of Reverse Flash. She didn't know really anything about the past and the guy and what he did. And Barry explained it to her, and I liked her reaction that this guy was his biggest villain. This guy still, to this day, after all these seasons, is the best time period of the show. And even hearing the story again, being reminded of what Reverse Flash did, I almost went, we should have done something with him in this episode. And you see the explosion happen. And I like that they cut all of the characters that were affected, at least most of the characters that were affected by the particle accelerator. They showed them all in unison get touched by the explosion, because we saw various episodes of them going back and re-showing us one character. This was one of the first times where you saw everyone be affected by it. I almost want to check on YouTube if somebody else has edited all of the scenes where people were affected by the accelerator. In any event, before that happened, though, I want to talk about Evil Wells having that conversation with Cisco. It was very wink, wink, and in your face about, hey, I have a vibe about you, Cisco. Hunka, hunka, get it? And even the moment where he goes to shake his hand, but he has his hand like when he vibrates into his chest and kills him, or was supposed to kill him in season 1. So, okay, fine, I got it, loud and clear. They still had to do that, though. And then we come back to the present day. They have the dark matter. They have everything up and running. And Chris Klein, I should probably talk about our current villain, Chris Klein, as Cicada. And look, Chris Klein, I like him. I do. There are movies where I enjoy him in, like the American Pie movies, or even Just Friends. But there are other times where he is pretty bad as an actor. And so far, he's been pretty bad on this show. during this season. The episode where they showed his backstory and they showed him with his niece and taking her in, taking care of her, trying to be a father figure for her. I did like that, and I did like him in that episode. But it's him as this villain with the raspy voice and some of the facial expressions, the mannerisms. He's so overacting. He's so over-cheesing every line that he delivers. It's hard to take seriously. It is. I chuckle every time I see him or hear him talk. So you see him have a battle with our group of heroes, and I like that this time they outsmarted him. I like that this time they were prepared for him, ready for him. Sure, he summoned the dagger from space, which was kind of odd, but okay, fine. And then Killer Frost showed up. I like that. She somehow has an immunity to the dagger and scared him off. I forgot that he could fly. Did he do that in the first episode? I don't remember, but it just seemed very weird that he just said, up, up, and away. See you later, guys. And so, fine. You have something that could neutralize the threat. You have Killer Frost that hopefully she'll play a bigger part, a bigger factor, because I did not like the stuff with her father. That episode I thought was terrible. So yeah, so far Flash has been hit or miss this season. It hasn't been as bad as season 3 or 4, but it hasn't been perfect either. I thought this episode was fine. It was cool to see some of these old characters and old villains once again. I thought they could have used them a lot more. I thought we should have gotten more of Zoom, Reverse Flash, even Gorilla Grodd. In fact, seeing the little that we did makes me reminisce and remember how great this show used to be with the villains and the characters. Oh well, at least I'm not as angry as I was with Arrow. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of the 100th episode of the mid-season finale of Flash? Did you like it more than I did, or do you think it sucked? Have you thought the show sucked? Or have you stopped watching completely? Do you not care anymore? Like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, wait a minute. There was a scene of Nora having her book with all of the coded language stuff in the future, and she's putting it into Gideon's computer. What was that? Can somebody explain that to me? What exactly is she doing? Later!